thousands of jobs that are urgently hiring, only to submit your application and not hear anything back.
I have applied to probably about 600 to 800 jobs in the last 3 months.
It's been 3 months. Like, I have spent all my days and nights crying, boo-hooing, praying to God, trying to find a job.
If you are currently employed and looking for something better, stop, because there won't be.
Today we'll explore the current situation of job market. First, let's watch this lady who got fired from Tesla and struggling to find a job.
I have applied to probably about 600 to 800 jobs in the last 3 months. I was part of the Tesla layoffs, and I cannot find work. I got a job offer last week, and I negotiated, and just like that, they rescinded my job offer.
Now let's watch this lady. She have 2 college degrees, 2 internship, and also have some extra skills, still struggling to find a job.
I'm done. I've been applying to jobs for the past 2 years since I graduated. I graduated college almost 2 years ago. I have 2 degrees. I had 2 internships in college. I was top of my class. Since graduating, I have published a book. Okay, I wrote and self-published a book, and yet that's still not good enough for you people. You still want 5 to 10 years of experience for an entry-level job. Where do you think we're supposed to get this experience if no one wants to hire us? How are we supposed to get the experience if no one wants to hire us without experience? Like, make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then today, for example, I was all excited. I had an interview for this fancy PR firm in Denver because I'm moving to Denver like next week. And I actually thought that I had a chance of getting this job. I know that sounds pathetic, but I got really excited. I got my hopes up. I spent 2 hours prepping for the interview all morning. I got dressed up, straightened my hair. And then 5 minutes into the Zoom call, I get an email from the founder, the CEO of the company saying, "Oh, sorry, we already filled the position and we forgot that, I forgot that this interview was like already scheduled." Like, she forgot about the interview. And I'm just like, I literally, like, you couldn't have told me this sooner. I spent my entire morning getting ready for this interview just to find out they already filled the position. Like, that is so disrespectful. That is so unprofessional. Like, I don't care how important you are. Like, if you're a CEO, whatever, I don't care. That's unprofessional. You don't do that to people. Like, I'm still a human. I'm still a person with feelings, and also, like, time is precious, and I spent all morning preparing for this interview that you just forgot about, and you didn't even tell me until like 5 minutes into the interview. The fuck? Like, I'm sorry if, like, this is controversial. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm done. I have no fucks left to give. I'm done.
Is anyone else sick and tired of the 2024 job market? Like, you go on LinkedIn or you go on Indeed, and all you see is a list of thousands of jobs that are urgently hiring, only to submit your application and not hear anything back. So you go and you submit hundreds of applications to all of these companies that are urgently hiring, only to not hear shit back for weeks. And then finally, 4 months down the line, you get a response from one of the companies and they tell you they're not interested. What? Not to mention all of the jobs on there that say entry-level position, and then when you look at the requirements, you have to have a master's degree and 50 years of work experience to even be considered for the job. What the fuck? Seriously, why is it so hard to find an entry-level job that pays like 15 to 25 bucks an hour that doesn't require 5 years of work experience? Like, bro, if nobody will hire me, how will I ever get experience?
Let's watch this lady explain why you should not quit your job, because if you do, there is no guarantee you'll ever find a job.
This is your sign to not quit your job. No matter how frustrated you are, how mad you are, do not quit your job, especially if you don't have another job lined up. Because 2 weeks ago, I had an interview with Marriott, and she told me that I had the job, only for her to text me and tell me that unfortunately I no longer have the job. Then I had another interview downtown at a bar. But when I texted him to clarify that start date, he left me on red and then blocked me. Another interview at a daycare, only for her to tell me that I don't meet the qualifications. Then this morning I wake up at 8:30 because I have an interview at 10:30, only for them to email me, tell me they've canceled my interview because they're no longer hiring candidates and they forgot they had their job posting up. Don't quit your fucking job. Talk to managers, figure out a solution, do what you don't quit your fucking job. This shit is bad.
So the job market is actually cooked right now. You have all your Amazon, Google, Meta employees getting laid off right now with like 10 years of experience applying to entry-level roles. And you have your college graduates that are applying to retail and restaurants because they can't get an entry-level job without experience. No one's trying to go from making over $100K to making $20 an hour. So that's why people cannot find the jobs that they want.
Watch this guy share his real life experience on why job market is cooked right now.
This is actually way more common than you would think. I just got back from a bachelor party where 3 out of the 10 guys were unemployed. Mind you, these are a bunch of 30-year-olds with 8 years of corporate experience, one of which just finished their MBA from UCLA. Another one who has extensive experience producing TV shows, most notably the Real Bros of Simi Valley movie. And they've been unsuccessfully on the job hunt from 3 months to a year ago when one of them finished their MBA program at UCLA. These are some of the most qualified dudes that I know, and it's a struggle to find a good job. One theory that I've seen circulating out there is that companies are now trying to drive down wages because apparently during the COVID years, wages got way too high. The problem is inflation also got way too high, and we got used to living a certain way based on those salaries. And inflation's not going down, but wages are certainly getting driven down. And so now you have this massive disparity between expectations and what's actually being offered. All the while, there's a surplus of candidates because of all the layoffs. And that just makes for a horrible job market.
This lady shared her struggle on finding job. Company rejected her on the spot, and sometimes after first interview.
All about I have gotten on the spot or either did my first interview and they called me back literally that day or within 24 hours and gave me the job. I thought I was going crazy. I was like, do I need to revamp my resume? Like, I was all on Indeed. I was all on LinkedIn. Like, I was everywhere, baby, with my resume. Everywhere. I'm talking about, like, I have applied. Like, I'll have to, like, post, like, a screenshot of my Indeed on how many jobs I applied to. It took me has it been 4 months now? Maybe 3 months. It's been almost 3 months trying to find a new job. So if you see them videos that pop up on TikTok saying don't quit your job, baby, don't. Unless you start the next day at a new job, do not quit your job. It's been 3 months. Like, I have spent all my days and nights crying, boo-hooing, praying to God, trying to find a job because, like, I've been to probably over 35, 40 interviews. Like, I started not even believing in myself. I was like, is it you? And it's either you're overqualified or underqualified, or either I'm asking for too much. I didn't know asking like $25 is a lot. In management, really management, all management should be on salary. And I'm also seeing an increase in like store management not being on salary. Why are you only paying me $15 an hour to be a store manager? Literally went through the entire process with this other boutique. She was like, I like you, da-da-da-da, how much were you looking for? And this is before I watched that young lady's video on how to like answer that question. And I was like, look, if it's a perfect world, I'm looking between 28 to 30. But I was like, I know I put 26 on my resume and you guys also had 26 listed on your website. Tell me why she told me 26 was too much and they did not call me back. I literally had to walk into a store. Like, I literally just moved about 3 months ago. So this all happened in the span of like me moving. I just moved 3 months ago. And there's a store down the street from my house that I have been going to. And I've not seen the same cashier twice. The store has been closed when it shouldn't be because they don't have workers. The shelves aren't stocked because they don't have workers. So I put in 4 separate applications for that. But like when I said like 4 separate applications, I called corporate. I called the store. I called the store down the street to try to speak to whomever was over that store. Baby, it took me going in and saying, you guys need help and you guys need me more than I need you. to get that job. Literally in my interview, he was like, why do you want to work for my company? I literally told him, I have shopped at this store maybe 6 or 7 times, and every time I try to come in here, there's nothing on the shelves. There's no one working. Y'all don't have any cashiers, and y'all have to close early because y'all don't have any workers. I said, give me the job. I had to go in there and demand a job for them to give me a job.
It's not you, it's the job market. If you are currently employed and looking for something better, stop, because there won't be. Hiring in the US has fallen to its lowest point since they started keeping measurements in 2005. US-based employers announced 75,981 cuts in August, which was a 193% increase from the month prior. And of those job cuts, the companies stated that they had these job cuts because of economic conditions. Thankfully, I have one more semester of school, so I can mentally trick myself that everything's okay, but I have 2 roommates who just graduated and they can't find a job for nothing. I mean, nothing. Even a restaurant was kind of a struggle for them. And you go on these recruiting sites like Indeed.com, and the only jobs that they have to offer are these entry-level sales positions that once you join, they're just multi-level marketing, door-to-door sales, and you make 100% commission, so nothing. And we're getting all this rhetoric from the government that the economy is improving. Where?